प्रथमं सद्गुरुं वन्दे श्रीकृष्णं तदनन्तरं गुरुः पापात्मना त्राता श्रीकृष्णस्त्वमलात्मना भुजगतल्पगतं घनसुन्दरं गरुर्वाहनमं भुजलोचनम् जलधिजाश्रितवाम कलेवरं भजत रे मनुजा कमलापतिम् वन्दे बृन्दावनानन्दा राधिकां परमेश्वरी गोपिकां परमां शुद्धां लादिनी शक्तिरूपिणी नमः कमलना भाय नमः कमलमालिने नमः कमलपादाय नमस्ते कमलेक्षण यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तद्ब्रह्मदेवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। दिव्य आत्माओं, भक्त समुदाय, महानुभाव, devotees of the Supreme Lord, the Divine Souls. First, let me say Radhe Radhe to each and everyone, and my pranam, my humblest prostrations to each and every one of you. We have been listening to the divine teachings of Lord Gaurang Mahaprabhu. In the Christian era, in the year 1486, the full moon night of the month of Phagun, 18th of February, a great event took place in Navadvip in India. Bhagwan Shri Radha Krishna, in order to bless the souls in this most terrifying age called Kali Yuga, descended in one form, and that form was known as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or Lord Gaurang Mahaprabhu. Gaurang Mahaprabhu stayed in this world for only 48 years. Within that time, he revived the most important thing the bhakti movement. Once again, reminding the souls that only one way to know God, to attain the divine happiness of Sri Radha Krishna, to become free from the mundane existence of worldly existence. One thing only, bhakti, the path of love. Love for Radha Krishna. He showed the importance of chanting the name of God. That Lord God, Bhagwan Radha Krishna, or God, sits in the name. That there is no difference between God and the name. They're one and the same. And especially in this age of Kali Yuga, there's nothing else we can do except chant the name of the Lord with love. Bhakti is superior in every age. Bhakti Deva Gariyasi, Bhakti Deva Gariyasi. Bhakti is supreme in the past, the present, and the future. But in this age of Kali Yuga especially, chanting the name of the Lord is fully recommended. Bhagwan Shri Ram himself says in the Ramayana, Kahu bhakti path kavan prayasa jogana makh jap tap upavasa. The path of bhakti is so easy. There is no hard work. All the other paths we hear about, which cannot give the ultimate aim, as we have been seeing throughout till today, we have been seeing during this lecture series, they can give something. But to give the ultimate aim of God realization, all the paths require the help of bhakti. Whereas bhakti itself requires the help of no other path. And yet it's so simple, so easy. There is no yoga, ashtanga yoga, no yajna, no jap, no tapasya, no austerities, no fasting, nothing. Just chanting the name of the Lord with love. Just loving, that's all. And loving is easy. We already know how to love. We just have to know how to apply it now. That's all. So Gaurang Mahaprabhu, Radha Krishna, Yugal Sarkar descended in that special form as Gaurang Mahaprabhu. And so we have been chanting a very beautiful kirtan written by the saint Jagat Guru Tam Shri Kripaluji Maharaj, which speaks about the divine descension of Gaurang Mahaprabhu, page 121, 122. We have been continuing on 122, it starts on 121. Bhaju Gaurango, Bhaju Gaurango, Bhaju Gaurange, Naam Re, Bhaju
Gaurango, Bhaju Gaurango, Bhaju Gaurange, Naam Re.
O Bhaju Gaurango, Bhaju Gaurango, Bhaju Gaurange, Naam Re, Bhaju
Gaurango, Bhaju Gaurango, Bhaju Gaurange, Naam Re.
Ei Gaurango, ro ro kar kahe,
Gaurango, ro ro
भज गौरांगो भज गौरांगे नाम रे
भज गौरांगो भज गौरांगो भज गौरांगे नाम रे
ए गौरांगो सब सोयह का
यही गौरांगो सब सोया का
ए गौरांगो सब सोयह का
यही गौरांगो सब सोया का
भेद न नामी नाम रे भेद
भेद नामी नाम रे
ओ भेद न नामी नाम रे भेद
भेद नामी नाम रे
ओ भजु गौरांगो भजु गौरांगो भजु गौरांगे नाम रे
भज
भजु
गौरांगो भज गौरांगो भज गौरांगे नाम रे
हे गौरांग बतायो कलिमह
यही गौरांगो बतायो कलिमा
हे गौरांग बतायो कलिमह
यही गौरांगो बतायो कलिमा
बतायो कलिमह
बतायो
बतायो
कलिमा
कलिमह
बतायो कलिमा
केवल हरि को नाम रे
केवल हरि को नाम रे
ओ केवल हरि को नाम रे
केवल हरि को नाम रे
ओ भजु गौरांगो भजु गौरांगो भजु गौरांगे नाम रे
भज गौरांगो भज गौरांगो भज गौरांगे नाम रे
ओ भजु गौरांगो भजु गौरांगो भजु गौरांगे नाम रे भजु
गौरांगो भज गौरांगो भज गौरांगे नाम रे
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
ओ हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि हरि बोल बोल हरि बोल
हरि हरि बोल बोल हरि बोल
ओ हरि हरि बोल बोल हरि बोल
हरि हरि बोल बोल हरि बोल
हरि हरि बोले गौरांग महाप्रभु की,
जय
जगत गुरुतम श्री कृपालु जी महाराज की।
जय
So far, we have been listening to the verses from Shikshastakam, the 8 verses. So far, we have listened to 4 verses. First, Trinadapi sunichena tarodapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sada hari. In this verse, we listened about the prerequisites, pre-qualifications, conditions one has to fulfill in order to do bhakti, to even step on the path. Tinadapi suni chena, one has to be humbler than a blade of grass. Tarorapi sahishnuna, to be more tolerant than a fruit-bearing tree. Amanina manadena, the absence of the desire for name and fame, for respect, and to give respect to all. The second verse, Nam Nam Kari Bahudha Nija Sarva Shaktis Tartar Pita Niyamita Smarane Nakala Eta Dishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaivami Dishamiha Janina Nuraga. That, hey Shri Krishna, you have so many names, and you are so merciful that you have taken all your powers and put in the name. You literally sit in the name. Plus, you have made no rules when it comes to taking the name. Your mercies are to the extreme, O Lord. But my misfortune is also to the extreme, in that I do not have love, attachment for taking your name. The third verse, Chetu darpan marjanam bhavamaha davagni nirvapanam shreyah kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadhu jivanam Anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamrita swadanam sarvatmasnapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. The benefits of chanting the name Shri Krishna Sankirtan. What does it do? Number one, uncountable lifetimes of wickedness and sins has clouded the mirror of our mind. It cleanses that mirror of the mind. There's a huge forest fire of worldliness, greed, anger, jealousy, hatred, lust burning in the heart. It douses that fire and brings a cooling effect. As the moonbeams brings a cooling effect to the lilies in the forest, so too it brings a cooling effect in the lily of the heart. True knowledge starts sprouting in the heart. One attains the taste of true, the love of Krishna, Sri Krishna, Radha Krishna. At every step, one starts to taste that divine love, which is the highest of all divinities, divine love, bliss. And then the fifth verse, fourth verse, last night. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam मां विषमे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पाद पंकज स्थित धूलि सदृशं विचिन्तय. O son of Nanda, hey Shri Krishna, I am your eternal servant, yet I am such a fallen soul. My heart is filled with only desire for worldly pleasures, worldly, sensual pleasures. Therefore, Shri Krishna, kindly shower your grace upon me by thinking me to be the tiny speck of a dust of your lotus feet. So that was the fourth verse. Tonight we go into the fifth verse. Nayanam galadashrudharaya vadanam gadagadarudhaya gira पुलकै निचितं वपु कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति. Shikshastakam, Gaurang Mahaprabhu. The fifth verse. That hey Shri Krishna, when will that day come? वो कब आएंगे वो दिन? When will that day come while taking your name? Tava naam grahane bhavishyati. That certain things will happen to me. While taking your name, Nayanam Galadashrudharaya, tears will flow from my eyes like a river. Badanam, the body will thrill with joy. Gad Gadarudhaya gira, the throat will become choked with emotion. Gad Gad. Pulakai nichitam babhukada, and the paws and the body would raise on ends. Harapilation. This is very important. In the Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, it says, Tadashmasaram hridayam batedam yad grihyamanair harinamadheyai na vikriyetat yada vikaro netre jalam gataruheshu harsha. Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, second canto, third chapter, 24th verse. The Bhagavad Mahapuran says that while chanting the name of Sri Krishna and meditating on Sri Krishna, if tears doesn't flow from the eyes, the heart doesn't thrill with joy, the paws and the body doesn't raise on ends, etc., that heart has to be stone, a thunderbolt, tadashmasaram. So hard that heart has to be. It doesn't melt. Imagine Shri Krishna, Radharani is sitting in the name. Shri Krishna is called Anand, bliss in the Vedas. Anando Brahmeti Vijanat. Taittiriya Upanishad, chapter 3, verse 6. Raso vai sahara sagvam hevayam labdhva nandi bhavati. Taittiriya Upanishad, chapter 2, verse 7. In other words, Shri Krishna is bliss, happiness, personified, infinite bliss. And God is sitting, He's sitting in the name. The name is same as Shri Krishna. And we are taking that name and we don't experience that bliss. That heart has to be thunderbolt, steel, iron, stone, so hard. Rup Goswami ji says there are symptoms of divine love. 8 symptoms. Stambha svedo taromancha swarabhedo tave patu vaivarnyamashru pralaya ityashtau satvika smitaha. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rup Goswami. Rup Goswami Ji Maharaj says there are 8 symptoms of divine love. When one becomes a true devotee, these 8 symptoms will manifest itself in the body. When the name of the Lord is being chanted, etc., these symptoms will manifest themselves. Number 1, stambha. One will become still as a tree. Number 2, swed. Will start perspiring profusely. Pasina. Number 3, romanch, horripilation. The paws on the body will stand on ends like a jackfruit, katahal. Swarabhed, the voice changes. Vepatu, one shivers like a leaf. Kampan. Number 6, Vaivarnya, the color of the face, the color of the skin changes. Number 7, Ashru, tears will flow like a river. Number 8, Pralay, becomes unconscious as though dead. These are the 8 symptoms of divine love. When we see the appearance of these 8 symptoms, we can immediately guess the blazing fire of divine love possessed only by a genuine saint. This is our best and truest guide for knowing if one is a genuine saint or not. Before that, we will start to experience some of it. Be very carful. Gopaniyam, gopaniyam, gopaniyam prayatnataha. The scripture says the saint hides themselves. Those who love God, they don't want anybody to know. The highest devotees of Radha Krishna, Sri Krishna, are the gopis of Vrindavan. The gopis' position is so high that Brahma, Vishnu, Shankar want to get the dust of the feet of these gopis. Brahma, Uddhav, etc., is begging Sri Krishna to become a tree, a vine, a grass in Vrindavan, so that when the gopis will walk, the dust of their feet will come and bless them. Such is the position of the gopis. Naradji in Narad Bhakti Sutra to define divine love, he says, Yatha Gopika Naam. Bhakti, he defines as how the gopis love Sri Krishna. The word gopi means to hide. While the gopis, a little more than 5,000 years ago, were in Vrindavan, nobody knew who they were. Such a high position. And yet, they lived the life like ordinary householders. They got married, they had children, everything. just like ordinary worldly people. Even when Bhagavan comes in the world, nobody knows. They hide themselves. In the same way, when we start practicing devotion and through the grace of a saint, the true Guru, we start experiencing some of these symptoms. Udrek is not bhav yet. Through the grace of the Guru, the true Guru, as the heart starts purifying, he will start giving us experiences. Tears will start to flow from the eyes. The paws on the body will raise on ends. Shivering will come like a leaf, etc. Yet one should try to hide this and not make a show of it. Jagat Guru Ramanujacharya had given 3 Kapuyacharan. That in the path of surrendering to God, these are 3 things we have to be extremely careful of. Very dangerous. 3 Kapuyacharan. The first one, Jim Bhav. Means there's an absence of simplicity. The heart has to be made simple. Sarala swabhav naman kutilai. Simplicity is compulsory in devotion. Because if there is no simplicity, there will be artificiality. We're going to act. First we'll be crooked with the world, and then we'll be crooked with God and the saint also. Even Guru. So one has to become so simple. Naivety, in other words. The second, Anitya Bhav. Anitya Bhav means there is deception, deceit, fraud in the heart. As long as there is deception, deceit, fraud, etc. in the heart, we cannot surrender to God. Nirmal man jan so mohi pava, mohi kapat chal chidra na bhava. And the third Kapuyacharan is Maya Bhav. This means Lokaranjan, entertaining others, showing off. Someone comes to the mandir, comes in satsang, starts doing some chanting, or start remembering all the wrong things I have done, and some tears comes to the eye. Oh, and they start to scream and shout. They stir up the entire mandir. Everybody start looking. Oh, that person is of such a high devotee. She's experiencing the separation of the gopis. That lady, every day she fights and quarrels with the husband, her father, and the children. And if you pass and just by chance you just give her a little push, huh? Oh, hey! Can't you see where you are going? And here you're pretending to be of a higher class than the gopis. This is very dangerous. Through the grace of the Guru, if you have a saint, if you're under the shelter of a true saint, through his grace you will start experiencing certain divine symptoms. It's not bhav yet. This is only Guru's grace. At least something. If you don't get anything, then Why am I doing bhakti? I am doing bhakti so long and nothing happened. So Guru blesses you. If you are woken and you're following Guru's instruction, and the heart starts to purify, Guru starts to give divine experiences as much as the heart can take. He will not give more than you can take, or he will destroy you. How much the vessel, how much the heart can take, so much he will give. And so, yes, we will experience a little bit of this. We are supposed to hide it. Don't show it. Don't make a show. If tears come, let it come. I'm not saying don't be to the point that, okay, I'm not going to cry. That's foolishness. We have to cry, but don't make a show. Don't start screaming and shouting that everybody has to know that you're the greatest devotee. This is a Maya bhav. We have to be very careful of the mind. The mind is a trickster. It wants name and fame. A devotee hides the devotion. The more you hide, the more you will get. The more it will grow. Jagat Guru Tam, Sri Kripaluji Maharaj used to give an example. He says, you have a pressure cooker and you put something to boil in there, peas, some bean, and after a while the whistle, right? वो सीटी बजाएंगे. The thing will come up and the steam will come out. If you take a towel or something and put on top of that, the whistle, that it doesn't allow the steam to come out, what's going to happen eventually? It will blow the cover. So if we, in the same way, don't make a show of our devotion, slowly, there'll come a day that you just can't help it. That's fine. The explosion will come. But don't make a show of it. So the symptoms are very important. Nimi, Videha Nimi, questioned the 9 Yogeshwars in Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran about the divine symptoms and the experiences. Kavi, one of the 9 Yogeshwars, says to Videha Nimi, Evam Vrataswa Priyanam Kirtya Jata Nurago Dhruta Chitta Uchaihi Hasatyatho Roditi Rauti Gayatyunmaravan Nityati Lokabahya. Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, 11 Canto, 2nd chapter, 40th verse. Kavi, one of the 9 Yogeshwars, says to Videha Nimi that when a sadhak, a true sadhak, through the guidance of the Guru, under the shelter of the Guru, keeps chanting the divine name of the Lord and meditate on the Lord, eventually certain things will start happening. The heart will become overwhelmed with that love, and it becomes impossible to control the ecstasy. In an environment where the name of the Lord is being sung, the devotee, the sadhak, weeps, screams, cries, sings and dances in ecstasy like a madman, transgression all conventions. Bhagavan Shri Krishna himself says to Uddhav in Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, Vagadgada dravate yasya chittam rudhatya bhikshnam hasati kvachiccha vilaja udgayati nityate cha madbhakti yukto bhuvanam punati. Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, 11 Canto, 14th chapter, 24th verse. This is a very high state. This is where we want to go. When will that day come? This is what we now ask. When what will happen? Shri Krishna is saying, my devotee speaks about my glories in a voice choked with emotion. Gad Gad. His heart melts in the anguish of separation from me. And at times he laughs in the joy of union. And shaken of all shyness, begins to sing loudly and dance in ecstatic rapture. Such a devotee indeed purifies the whole world. This is where we want to go. This is why Gaurang Mahaprabhu is saying in the verse, when will that day come? When these things will happen. It's a very high stage. This bhakti is not given so easily. You see, there are two kinds of bhakti. One bhakti we have to do, and one bhakti we are going to get. Prabhupada Maharaj, another one of the 9 Yogishwars, says to Videhanimi, Bhaktya sanjataya bhaktya vibhratyut pulakantanum. 11 canto, 3rd chapter, 31st verse, Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran. Only the Bhagavad gives this answer. Neither the Vedas, Ramayana, Gita, nobody. Only the Bhagavad says, first we have to do bhakti in order to attain bhakti. In other words, as I told you, there are two kinds of bhakti. One is sadhana bhakti, one that we have to practice. Hame karna. Sadhana. And one is siddha bhakti. When the heart has become completely pure, then the Guru will give diksha. Only then, remember I told you. This thing we see in Kali Yuga, everybody mantra phukte hai kaan mein. The true Guru doesn't do that, doesn't give mantra in the airs until the vessel is ready. First we have to make the vessel. Nirmal man jan so mohi pava, mohi kapat chal chidra na bhava. If a saint were to give that divine power called bhakti to an undeserving soul, that body, that person will be burnt to ashes. You have to make the bartan, the vessel first. The heart has to be made pure. Then diksha is given. And the moment we are given that diksha, we will attain everything. Immediately. Let me give you an idea about this bhakti. You'll understand why the vessel has to be made first. Bhagwan Shri Krishna has uncountable powers. Ananta Shakti. Everything that Shri Krishna has is infinite. His name, qualities, pastimes, abodes, saints, everything. He is infinite. Actually, a name for Shri Krishna in the Vedas is Anant. Ananta Nama Rupaya Ved. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Ved. Anantaschatma Vishwarupo Hyakarta Ved. Shri Krishna is called Anant. Anant means infinite. Out of these uncountable powers of Shri Krishna, 3 are most important. Pramukha hai, main. Krishner Ananta Shakti Tate Tin Pradhan. Chitra Shakti, Maya Shakti, Jiva Shakti Nam. Antaranga, Bahiranga, Tatastha, Kahijare, Antaranga, Sharupa Shakti, Shabar Upare. Chaitanya Chaitamrit. The Chaitanya Chaitamrit says that Shri Krishna has 3 main powers. Chit Shakti, Jiva Shakti, and Maya Shakti. Chit Shakti is also called Swarup Shakti or Antaranga Shakti or personal potency of Sri Krishna. Jeev Shakti is also called Tatastha Shakti or marginal power. As even though the soul is a fraction of Sri Krishna, is also under the control of Maya. And Maya Shakti is called Bahiranga Shakti or external power. This is also mentioned in Vishnu Puran. Vishnu Shakti para prokta kshetra gyakya tatha para avidya karma sangyanya tritiya shakti ruchyate. Vishnu Puran. Now, out of the three main powers of Sri Krishna, the Chit Shakti or Swarup Shakti is the most personal power, the highest. This Swarup Shakti also has three categories: Hladini, Sandhini, Sambit. Hladini, Sandhini, Sambit, Tvayeka, Sarva Sanshaye, Hladata Pakari Mishra, Tvaino Guna Varjite. Vishnu Puran. Now, God is known by three names in the scriptures, in the Vedas, in all the scriptures: Sat, Chit, Anand. You've heard that? So Bhagwan is also called Sachidanand. Sat refers to supreme existence. Chit refers to supreme knowledge. And Anand refers to supreme bliss, supreme happiness. So the Swarup Shakti of God, Sri Krishna, is of three types: Sat, Chit, Anand. So the Adhishtatri Shakti, the governing power of the Swarup Shakti in the Sat aspect is known as Sandhini Shakti. You won't understand, it will fly over the head, don't worry. The Adhishtatri Shakti or governing power of the Chit Shakti of Sri Krishna is known as Sambit Shakti, and the Adhishtatri Shakti or governing Shakti of the Swarup Shakti of the Anand aspect of Sri Krishna is known as Hladini Shakti. Satchit Anandamay Krishnera Swarup Atev Swarup Shakti Hai Tin Roop Anandanshe Hladini Sandanshe Sandhini Chidanshe Sambit Jare Jnana Kaurimani Chaitanya Charitamrita. This Hladini Shakti is the bliss potency of Sri Krishna. It is true, this Hladini Shakti, that Sri Krishna remains ever blissful. Look, many of you are married, husband, wife, couple, children, 5 children for the most, and every moment tension. Tension. And Sri Krishna has uncountable children and sabavara. All very bad and no tension. No tension. It is true, this Hladini Shakti. Now, I'm not going to go in great detail, so pay attention. So God, these are three aspects of Bhagavan: Sat, Chit, Anand. Sat merges into Chit. So Chit contains both existence as well as knowledge. And Sat and Chit merges into Anand. So Anand contains all three of existence, knowledge, as well as bliss. So the Anand aspect of Sri Krishna is the highest aspect. In the same way, the Hladini Shakti or bliss potency is the highest aspect of Swarup Shakti of Sri Krishna. Furthermore, Hladini Shor Ansha Tar Premanam. The essence, the highest point of this Hladini Shakti is called Bhakti, Prem, divine love. And the highest point of this Prem is called Mahabhav or Radharani. So let me go through again briefly. Bhagwan Shri Krishna has uncountable powers, out of which three are most important: Chit Shakti, Jeev Shakti, and Maya Shakti. Out of these three, Chit Shakti or Swarup Shakti is the most personal power, the highest. This Swarup Shakti again has three aspects. Hladini, Sandhini, Sambit. Out of these, the Hladini or bliss potency is the highest aspect. And the highest point of this Hladini Shakti is called Bhakti, Prem, divine love. So we see that this Prem, this Bhakti, is the most personal of power of Sri Krishna. This is why Sri Krishna does not give Bhakti easily. He is ready to give everything, but not Bhakti. He says to Kag Basundiji, काघ बुसुंदी मांगु भर अति प्रसन्न मोहि जान हो रामा अति प्रसन्न मोहि जान अनिमादिक सिद्धि अपर निधि मोक्ष सकल सुख खान हो रामा मोक्ष सकल सुख खान सियावर रामचंद्र कर जय शरणम शंकर हरि ओम जय जय सिया राम जय जय
सिया राम जय जय सिया राम.
Bhagwan tries to make a fool of his devotees. He offers everything. Kag Basundaji is very dear to Ram. He says, Kag Basundaji, I am extremely pleased with you. Ati prasan, not only prasan, Ati prasan, extremely pleased. And will give you anything you desire, anything you want. What does he mention? I will give you Riddhi Siddhi, power to perform miracles. Anyone who gets attracted to Riddhi Siddhi, that's the end of you. I will give you Nidhis, treasures. That's the end of you too. I'll explain later on. And even moksha, the best of attainments. When in actual reality, as I've told you before, there was nothing in moksha. There's infinite bliss in moksha, yes, in Brahmanand. But the one that has to experience the mind, the jnani destroys the mind. It is the mind that experiences happiness as well as sorrow. The soul, the Atma, is a non-doer. So the one who attains moksha experiences nothing. Bhagwan is offering everything except bhakti. Does he lose something by giving bhakti? No. Bhagwan is called Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. God is such an entity that if you subtract infinite from him, he remains infinite. So why does he not want to give bhakti? There's a big secret here. He says in Bhagavad Mahapuran, he says to Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni tried to kill a devotee of Sri Krishna, Ambarish. And Bhagwan got so angry when you try to harm a devotee of Bhagwan, no matter who you are, Brahma Rishi, Durvasa Muni. Bhagwan sent his Sudarshan Chakra after Durvasa. Durvasa went to all the three worlds. No one will give protection. Finally, he fell at the feet of Sri Krishna begging. Pahimam, trahimam, protect me, protect me. Bhagwan looked at Durvasa and he said, Aham bhakta paradhino yaswatanta ivadvija sadhu bhrigrasta hridayo bhaktair bhakta janapriya. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 9th canto, 4th chapter, 63rd verse. He says, Durvasa, I can't do anything. Why? Durvasa, look, I am supremely independent, free. No one and nothing controls me. But there's something called bhakti, love. The devotee has. That ties me up, binds me and ties me up. And makes me dance as a monkey dances to the tune of the trainer. I am no longer free, Durvasa. I cannot do anything for you. If Ambarish forgives you, is fine. Bhakt will forgive, can forgive, and they do. Bhagwan will never forgive. This is why he doesn't give bhakti. He becomes a slave. He says in Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, Nirapeksham munim shantam niravairam samadarshanam anubrajamiham nityam puetang ghirenu. 11th canto, 14th chapter, 16th verse, Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran. Bhagwan Krishna says, Udhav, I run after my fully surrendered devotees. Bhakt. Udhav says, Maharaj, why? To protect them? Inki raksha karna? Bhagwan says, no, Udhav, I do that sitting in their heart already. So why are you running after them? So that when they walk, the dust of their feet will come on me and I'll become purified. He becomes a slave to his devotees. The Ramayana too says, Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Bolo Ram.
Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Oh, Ram Sada Sevak Ruchira ki Ved Puran Sadhu Sur Sakhi. Bolo
Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Bolo Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Ram Sada Sevak Ruchi Rakhi Ved Puran Sadhu Sur Sakhi. He loves to serve his devotee. दासता, वो दासों का भक्त, वो दास बन जाते हैं. Bhagwan becomes the servant of his servant. He loves to serve his servant. So this is why he doesn't give bhakti, because he has to become a servant. And how do we attain that bhakti? Jahina ka chahiya kabahu kachu tum san sahaj sanehi. By surrendering to one who has attained that bhakti himself. In other words, to a rasik saint. Not to a jnani saint, not to a karmi saint, not to a yogi saint. There are many kinds of saints. Only a rasik saint. In other words, one who has drunk the highest divine love of Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. A rasik, jo ras peene wala, one who drinks ras, he's called a rasik. Shri Krishna is also called a rasik. So, this bhakti, it is so great, Bhagwan doesn't want to give it, but we can get it. How? राम सिया राम जय जय राम बोलो राम
राम सिया राम जय जय राम।
बोलो राम सिया राम जय जय राम बोलो
राम सिया राम जय जय राम।
हो भक्ति स्वतंत्र सकल सुख खानी बिनु सत्संग न पावहि प्राण बोलो राम
राम सिया राम जय जय राम। बोलो राम सिया राम जय जय राम।
ओ पुण्य पुंज बिनु पुण्य पुंज बिनु मिलहि न संता सत्संगति संस्कृति करंता बोलो राम
राम सिया राम जय जय राम। बोलो राम सिया राम जय जय राम। सिया राम जय जय राम।
भगवान श्री राम अपने श्री मुख से भगवान himself is saying to the residents of Ayodhya, Bhakti Swatantra Sakal Sukha Khani. Bhakti is supremely independent, free. In other words, Bhakti doesn't require the help of any path. Every path I showed you last night, whether it's Gyan, whether it's Karma, Yoga, whatever path, all requires the help of Bhakti. Bhakti requires the help of nobody. Of Sakal Sukha Khani, and is the storehouse of all happiness. But Binu Satasanga na pavahi prani. Without the association of a Rasik saint, no one can attain that bhakti. Without the grace of a Rasik saint. And how are we going to get this, the association of a saint? Punya punja binu milahi na santa. When we have done great spiritual activities, great devotion, etc. in our past life, Bhagwan blesses us to meet a saint. Without the saint, we cannot get bhakti. But how are we going to meet the saint? Binu sat sanga viveka na hoi, Ram kripa binu sulabhan soi. Sat sang, sat means saint, sang means association. Only when we associate with a true saint, we will acquire true knowledge. And that association we'll get only when Bhagwan, the Lord, will shower His grace. And how will Bhagwan shower His grace? We have to be deserving. None of us knows, those of us who had the great fortune to meet this saint called Jagat Guru Tam Sri Kripaluji Maharaj, who is told to be the descension of Gaurang Mahaprabhu. I told you, Gaurang Mahaprabhu had told his mother before leaving that I will come back 2 more times. And so he came back in the year 1922 on the full moon night of the Sharad Purnima in a village called Mangar in the district of Kunda, Pratapgarh, India. What did we do, those of us who had the great fortune to even come and listen to this satsang, this kind of philosophy. Not everybody will have the time. A lot of people heard about it. Flyers were given. It was all the time people are coming and seeing. How many people had the interest? Tulsidas says in the Ramayana, Ehi sar avat ati kathinai Ram kripa binu ai na jai. To come in a place like this and listen to this kind of philosophy is not only difficult but extremely difficult. And only when the Lord shower His grace, we're able to come. Some Swami is going to come. Acha, acha. I don't like this philosophy thing. I don't have time. I'm a householder. I am so busy. Acha. What are you so busy doing? What are you looking for? I'm looking for happiness. Then first try to find out where happiness is. We are running blindly in all directions. So only when Bhagwan will shower His grace that we'll meet a saint. And Sat Sangati Sanshriti Kar Anta. Only through the grace of that saint will this attraction we have for Maya come to an end. Uncountable lifetimes have gone. Uncountable lifetimes. We have been searching for happiness. It's our nature to look for happiness. Why? Because we are a fraction of happiness. It's a divine, it's a law, a natural law. Swabhavik niyam hai. That every part, every fraction has a natural love for the whole and tries to become one with it. Go towards it. All the rivers naturally flow to the ocean, being a fraction of the ocean. All the flames of fire naturally rises upwards, being a fraction of the sun. So in the same way, we the individual souls, being eternal fractions of Sri Krishna, naturally love and want only Sri Krishna. Valmiki ji says in the Valmiki Ramayana, Loke nahi savidyeta yo narama manubrataha. He says it's impossible to find an individual soul that does not truly love and want God. It sounds strange because there are people who believe in God and there are people who don't believe in God. They will even try to stop others from taking His name. So the reason why Valmiki ji made this statement is because we all want happiness. And happiness is another name for Sri Krishna. Anand. So only when we associate with a true saint, this, you see, our mind has been attached to the material world from beginning of time. We're looking for happiness. Nothing is wrong in that, in looking for happiness. But because of ignorance, agyan, what is the ignorance? Main kaun hu, ye bhul gaya. We have forgotten who we are. We have forgotten we are the soul, the Atma. From beginningless time, we have identified with the physical body. And because of that, we have always been looking for happiness where it cannot be found, in the material world. A new house, a new car, handsome boy, beautiful girl, children, you name it. That decision that I will find happiness in the world has become very firm. Bahut drid ho gaya, drid. Uncountable lifetimes. To change that decision in the mind that there is no happiness in the world is impossible for the worldly soul. A worldly soul by himself or herself cannot make that decision. This is where the work of the saint comes. When we associate with a true saint, like Jagat Guru Tam Shri Kripaluji Maharaj, for some time, what will happen? Our attachment for the material world automatically will start decreasing. An attachment for Radha Krishna, for God, will start increasing. This is one of the ways to test if you are associating with a true saint. You can be all over the place. People say, I'm going here, I'm going satsang, and nothing is happening. We're getting more attached to the world because you're going in the wrong place. If you're going in the right place, detachment is supposed to happen. The mere association of the saint causes that. But when saints have come in this world, what did we do? Their work is indispensable. Without the saint, nobody can go to Bhagwan. But when they have come in this world, Tulsidas, Surudas, Meera, Tukaram, Nanak, Gaurang Mahaprabhu, Jagat Guru Tam Shri Kripaluji Maharaj, what did we do? We cast, we criticize, abuse, poison, throw them in jail, give them a bad name. What did we not do? It always happens. And the greater that saint, the more is the opposition. It seems as though a test of his greatness is by how much opposition he gets in this material world. And yet, no matter how much we try to destroy them, the saint does not desist from trying to uplift us. Bhurjataru samasanta kripala parahit sahanit vipati vishala. Tulsidas Ji gives an example of a saint. He gives the example of the Bhoj Patra. There's a tree called Bhoj Patra. Long ago, all our scriptures were written, but there was no paper. There was no paper factory. All this paper we have today, there was nothing like that. So, the scriptures are written on the bark of this tree. There are some still existing today. It's very fragile. I've seen some of them. So the bark of the tree was taken out. The tree is made of bark only. This Bhoj Patra. And you keep taking the bark, and eventually the tree dies. In the same way, the saints will undergo tremendous torture. For us, tremendous torture. We take the skin off their back. And yet, they still keep thinking how to uplift us. They keep forgiving us and thinking how to uplift us. God gets very angry. Vishnu sthane kritam papam guru sthane pramuchyate. Guru sthane kritam papam bhajalepo bhavishyati. The scripture says if we think wrong about God, we curse God. We do it all the time. Guru forgives. The saint forgives. But we think wrong about a saint. We try to harm a saint. Bhagwan will never forgive. Saint forgives. He's called Kripalu. An ocean of compassion. We had the greatest fortune. And such an entity came in our midst. Because without the saint, God has a condition. Nirmal man jan so mohi pava, mohi kapat chal chidran bhava. Pure heart, pure mind. Can we do that? Can we make the heart, the mind pure? Impossible. If we could have done it, uncountable lifetimes, forget about one God realization, uncountable. We cannot do it. This is where the saint comes. In other words, the saint does the work of a garbage man. What does a garbage man do? He cleans rubbish. Uncountable lifetimes of wickedness, sin, impurities stored in our heart. As Sanchit Pap, the saint cleans. That's why in this respect, the saint is told to be greater than Sri Krishna. Ram te adhik Ram kar dasa. No one can be greater than God. But in this aspect, as far as cleaning the heart, the mind of the worldly soul, and making it ready to attain that divine love of Radha Krishna, that work which only a saint does, not even Bhagwan, he's told to be greater. This is why the saint says, Guru Govind do khare kake laghu pai. My Guru, the true Guru, the saint is standing before me. Along with him, Sri Krishna is also standing there, Govind. Who should I worship first? Who puja should I do first? Who should I bow to first? Sri Krishna? No, I bow first to the Guru. Because he is the one who gives me Krishna. Balihari Guru apano jin Govind diyo lakhai. So Guru, but Rasik saint, as I told you, to get bhakti, we need a Rasik saint. Rasik. We have a problem here as to who is the saint. This is the Kali Yuga. We have gurus by the millions. Everybody is a Guruji. The scriptures tell us to find the saint, a true saint, is the most difficult. The most difficult thing. To find a true saint. And today in Kali Yuga, we have gurus by the millions. Everybody is a Guruji. So are they all saint? Are they all Guru? We'll hear some more about this and the other verse as we continue tomorrow on the Shikshastakam. Bole Gaurang Mahaprabhu ki, Jagat Gurutam Shri Kripalu Ji Maharaj ki, Yugal Sarkar ki, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. We will